I'm Julianne. This is super awkward. How do people talk to their phones? It's weird. Hey, my name's Julianne. I live in Ontario in Canada, and I'm 27. I'm a musician, and I found out a few weeks ago that I am pregnant with my first baby. And so here I am, talking to my phone, thinking I want to document this and maybe share it with the world and other moms, and yeah. So I guess to start, I should say this is not the typical like happy pregnancy announcement that you see on YouTube all the time, where it's like, finding out I'm pregnant, shocking my husband, surprising my husband. For me and my fiance, this was some really huge and kind of heavy news at first. It was a really, really big shock. We were not at all planning for it or prepared for it or hoping it would happen. And I think there's so much, like, on the internet, a lot of the time you only see like the happy stuff. Like, I just don't want other people out there to feel alone when they see all those things and they're like, man, I just found out I'm pregnant and I don't feel that way, or my fiance wasn't as excited and as happy as that person's husband or boyfriend, or maybe they don't have a husband or boyfriend and they're doing this alone, or they don't know what to do. So I'm gonna be real and tell you that this was the biggest shock and hardest decision of our whole lives. I will say that once we decided on what we were doing, which was keeping the baby and starting our family, we are super happy. But getting there, finding out the initial reaction was not great. So yeah, like I said, we were not trying to get pregnant at all. However, that being said, I haven't been on birth control for several years, probably about 3 years now, for health reasons. When I was on birth control, I was gaining so much weight. I was probably about 30 pounds heavier, if not 40, than I am now. It was causing skin issues, disrupting thyroid function. I was losing so much hair. It was just not great. So I made the personal decision to go off of it, and I got a lot healthier. I started losing weight. And basically the way that we were avoiding an accidental pregnancy was through tracking my periods and tracking my ovulation and kind of planning out when we would be intimate. And it was really effective for a really long time, and I actually think that that method, if you are educated in it, it can be very effective. That being said, there was a night when we slipped up. But so before I even found out, it's kind of hard to talk about, but this past summer I experienced some difficult trauma, and unfortunately I repressed some memories that didn't come back until October. And once those memories came back, I started experiencing extreme anxiety. I probably won't go into the details. I don't know if I'll ever share what happened, or maybe I will. I don't know. It's for now, it's for me to like deal with and internalize and process. So all you need to know is that I experienced some pretty severe trauma, and it caused some really, really bad anxiety. My repressed memories came back October 12th, and I didn't tell my fiance until the 16th. After I told my fiance about the anxiety I was experiencing, he and I had a very passionate night where our birth control failed. The day after I went and took the Plan B pill, it was not even 10 hours after, and I think you have 72 hours of a window for the pill to be effective. And so I took it, didn't think anything of it, assumed we were all good because I took this morning after pill. It wasn't until a month later that I went to the doctors to talk about how bad my anxiety was getting and how physical it was becoming. It was taking over my life. I was experiencing severe depression, anxiety, but it was all taking a very physical manifestation. So I was very sick to my stomach. I wasn't sleeping, and this is probably TMI, but I also was experiencing really bad digestive issues in that for about 4 weeks. I was not having solid bowel movements. And it was getting to the point where I was getting concerned for my health. I went to my doctor on November 12th. However, about 2 weeks before that, or a week and a half before that, I was traveling for work. And so I was in New Brunswick playing a show. And my sister, she lives in Nova Scotia, so I thought I'd go visit her. And I was supposed to get my period that week, and I didn't. And I'm getting these symptoms that are like very period-like on the days that I'm supposed to have my period. So I'm getting really bad back cramps, which is really common for me. My boobs were really sore, and that also is pretty common for me as well, but this was more than usual. Like, they were like really sore. And so I just kind of chalked it up to like, oh, these are period symptoms without my period. And I assumed, well, it's no big deal. Like, I took the Plan B pill. I know that it can like mess up your cycle, make you early or late kind of thing. So I didn't really think anything of it at all. Kind of looking back, like, that was kind of, I should have known, because I've never missed my period. Never. I've never been late. Nothing. So that should have been a real big red flag, but it wasn't, because of everything I was going through and the fact that I took that Plan B pill. Got back to my home about a week later, and I was still going through like the mental health issues and the anxiety. So I scheduled an appointment with my doctor, and I told her all about the anxiety, and I ended up breaking down crying. She was so lovely and supportive, and she fully thought that all the physical symptoms I was having, the nausea, the diarrhea, everything was caused by my mental well-being, my anxiety. And I happened to mention in passing, like, oh, by the way, like, I missed my period, but like, I took the Plan B pill like 3 weeks ago, so that's probably why. And she said, you're missing your period because of the anxiety. She did say, though, I wouldn't be a good doctor if I was just like ignoring the fact that you missed your period. So what she did was she sent me for blood work, and urine work, and for digestive testing, basically. She also included I guess a pregnancy test with the blood and urine sample. She really didn't think that it was gonna amount to anything. Neither of us were like thinking this was a thing. It was just a precaution, basically. So I went that day to the lab because I wasn't working that day. It's just across the street, so I was like, I'll just do this now, get it out of the way. That night I went home, and I actually like broke down crying. And during this time I was very emotional, obviously, as well, for reasons that I know now are not just because I was going through some stuff. It was because my hormones were out of whack. I came home that night, and I ended up crumbling onto the floor, like Brent, my fiance, just like holding me, and I just remember crying, saying, I'm just so tired of being nauseous. I'm so tired of being sick. I'm so tired of being like mentally tormented. I just want the anxiety to stop and make me stop being ill. I just want to feel okay again. The next day, I was driving to the next town over. I was picking up a large fish tank for my little fish. Poor little guy was like that big and living in a tank like that, and so it's not important. But anyway, I was picking up a fish tank, and it's about 40 minutes away. It's the next town over, and just as I'm pulling up, I get a call. It's my doctor, and she's like, hey, do you have a second to talk? And I'm like, no, not really, like I'm in the middle of doing something. Can I call you back? And she's like, I mean, I guess so. This is really, really important though. So if I don't hear from you in like 10 minutes, I'm gonna call you back. In fact, I'm setting a timer on my phone right now. If I don't hear from you, I'm calling you. And I'm like, okay. The first thought I had when she said that was, I'm pregnant. And then my mom was like, no, I'm not. I took that Plan B pill. The doctor didn't think I was pregnant. There's no way. So that thought went right out the window. But for a split second, I was like, I'm pregnant. The next thought I had was, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm dying. She wasn't supposed to have the results back for another 2 weeks, but they have to be so bad that it means like I'm dying. So my mind just went to like the worst place. So I go into this woman's driveway. It took forever. All I'm thinking about is this calling my doctor back. I just wanted to talk to her and figure out what the hell was going on. And picking up this fish tank felt like a lifetime. They weren't answering their door. Turns out they were in the garage. Turns out the fish tank was in the garage. She didn't really speak English very well. That community is really, really French, and my French isn't the best anymore. Her German Shepherd puppy, it was like probably like 6-7 months old, so it was pretty big, was biting my feet, like biting my legs, barking at me. The tank wouldn't fit in my car, so anyway, long story short, I got this tank in my car. I basically threw the money at this poor lady. So sorry. And I just tried to get the hell out of there, and before I even backed out of this person's driveway, my doctor called me again. And so for the second time, I pulled over in front of this woman's house, and she's like, is now a good time to talk? And I said, yeah, okay, we can talk now. And she said to me, your nausea is not completely caused by your anxiety. And the next words were what changed my life for forever.